Hello again. John Kotnerowski here once more in another video for the National University of Science and Technology, Nieuw-Smeesis Academic Writing Center. We began the series with a video that provided a brief introduction to the field of academic writing. In this next video, I will be talking about the importance of cohesion in academic writing. To do this, I will try to answer the following questions. 1. What is cohesion? 2. Why is it important for writing to be cohesive? And 3, what are some ways to make one's writing more cohesive? Part 1. What is cohesion? Cohesion refers to the way we use vocabulary and grammatical structures to make connections between the ideas within a text. Cohesive devices are the words and strategies we use to make the meaningful connections between ideas within a text clear to the reader. Cohesion is a vitally important characteristic of good academic writing because it promotes clarity. The sentences and paragraphs within an academic text should all be related to one another. Since English is a writer-responsible language, it is the job of the writer to make these connections between sentences and paragraphs as clear as possible. One way to do this is through the effective use of cohesive devices. There are many different ways to make your writing more cohesive. Cohesive device number 1, pronouns. One way to promote cohesion in your writing is to use different kinds of pronouns. Pronouns are helpful because they let writers avoid repetition by referring to something that has already been mentioned. For example, my professor's lecture today was quite interesting. It was about the poetry of T.S. Eliot. We can see in this sentence that the pronoun it is used to refer to my professor's lecture in the previous sentence. By referring to the lecture with the pronoun it, the writer creates a connection between the two sentences. Cohesive device number 2, lexical signposts. Another way to make your writing more cohesive is by using words that make specific kinds of connections. I call these words lexical signposts. Just like road signs help control the flow of traffic and make what could be a chaotic situation more manageable, writers can use certain words and phrases to help organize their writing and guide their readers. There are many different categories of lexical signposts. Some of them include words and phrases used to make lists, like first, second, third. There are also words and phrases used to give examples, like for example, for instance, namely, and in other words. There are words and phrases used to generalize, like in general, on the whole, for the most part, and words and phrases used to show a result or a consequence, such as so, therefore, accordingly, consequently, thus, and hence. Finally, we have words and phrases used to summarize, like in conclusion, to conclude, overall, and words and phrases used to express an alternative, like alternatively, on the other hand, rather, and another possibility would be. Using these words and phrases effectively helps the reader better understand the meaning and relationships between information and a text. There are a wide variety of lexical signposts at work in the following paragraph. To begin, writing well is a multi-step process. First, a writer should brainstorm to help generate ideas. Second, writing an outline is important because it allows the writer to organize his or her thoughts. Moreover, outlines help to ensure that the writer includes all the necessary information. After outlining, the writer should create the first draft of his or her work. Then, he or she should get feedback on the draft from a classmate. Another possibility would be asking a teacher for suggestions for improvement. Finally, after several drafts, the writer will produce a final version for submission. Cohesive device number 3, repeating keywords. Sometimes it is helpful to repeat keywords throughout the course of a paragraph. To do this, you do not have to use the exact same word. Take a look at the following example. Many problems in the economy are impacting the restaurant industry. The factor responsible for most of these negative impacts is the economic recession. Due to weak economic conditions, the U.S. food service industry revenues will only rise 2.5% in 2008 compared to the 4.6% increase in 2007. The National Restaurant Association reports this to be among the poorest sales performances by the domestic restaurant industry in nearly 4 decades. In response to the weak economic conditions, restaurants are increasing prices only enough to offset higher costs rather than to expand profit margins. That example comes from Basham 2008b. In this example, we see the repeat of words that refer to the state of the economy. It's important to note that these words do not only refer to the economy, they also give qualitative information about its relatively poor condition. Cohesive device number 4. Anaphoric nouns. One final way to show the connection between different ideas in a paragraph is through the use of anaphoric nouns. Take a look at the following example. Reports of original work became too full of jargon to be understood even by trained scientists who were not working in the particular field. This situation persists today. In this example, the phrase, "this situation," refers to and summarizes the information in the previous sentence. The phrase, "this" or "these," followed by a noun such as claim, example, observation, explanation, or view, is a useful way to highlight the connection between two sentences or ideas. Cohesive device number 5, reviewing your work. The final way to make your writing more cohesive is to review it multiple times before you submit it. Even the best writers very rarely write something perfectly the first time. The more you review what you've written, the better you will understand the connections between ideas. With this greater understanding, you can use some of the cohesive devices mentioned previously to highlight and clarify the connections for your readers. Cohesion is an important quality of effective academic writing because it ensures that ideas are properly connected and that the reader can clearly observe these connections. There are many different ways to promote cohesion through the use of cohesive devices like the ones mentioned in this video. However, this is not an exhaustive list. I encourage you to do a little exploring on your own to try and find some more information about cohesive devices. I hope this video has helped improve your understanding of what people mean when they talk about cohesion in academic writing. If you have any questions, please feel free to bring them to us at the Academic Writing Center. I'm John Kotnerowski. See you next time.